Shalom. Shalom, my people. Shalom. Shalom, my people. Here to celebrate the Sabbath. Sabbath, which is today. And today is the Sabbath, not what they so call Sunday. They are called Sunday the Sabbath, but when Sunday is really not the Sabbath. That's what they are called. They're called Sunday the Sabbath, but Sunday really not the Sabbath. The Sabbath is on the Sabbath. Hey, I want to give yourself a round of applause. Yeah, you deserve it. And I want you to put your thank you cap on today because, hey, you can see the stuff. Well, hey, I'm going to tell you something before I get to it. When you read this Bible, you can see what's happening in the world because the Bible match up with what's happening in the world. This is really our book. This is really truly our book. I know they have told you that it was written by a white man. But white men wouldn't write stuff about black people saying black people are kings. Wouldn't describe Jesus being a black man. You know, it's a bunch of scriptures. There's plenty of scriptures describing you in this Bible. And they give a color to it, so it's black. They let you know you're black, you're brown. They let you know the Jews are brown to the ground. You know, King Solomon was black but beautiful. They let you know. Let you know the Ethiopians were black. Let you know the Egyptians were black. Let you know the Canaanites, the Hezatites, the Jezebites. They let you know all them Amorites. They let you know that they black. They let you know that Amen, the original Japanese were black. Let you know that Moabite, the original Chinese were black. They let you know who they are. They let you know who they are. It didn't come to pass until Esau was born in Genesis 25:25. And today's drink is watermelon and strawberry. A fusion. Watermelon and strawberry, and it's good. And you know the benefits of eating right, eating healthy is good, but it's expensive. It's expensive to eat good and healthy, but it's cheap to go get a hamburger for $1. You know what I'm saying? So they make it like that. And society is trying to kill us through the food because you can see that the egg, the baby formula, and all that kind of stuff. They got videos out where they showing where they destroying eggs, and they got other video where the farmers saying that the government is paying them to destroy the crop. But that's when it's coming to fruition in the Bible when they talk about the famine. But yeah, the drink of the day is strawberry and watermelon. Everybody know the benefit of watermelon. I grew up in Georgia. And we used to be, I remember my mom and them used to say, you can't eat watermelon past a certain time because it make you piss. Because watermelon, just what it is, watermelon. And that's just what it is. You get more nutrition and more energy from eating watermelon than you do just drinking water. So when we was kids, that's all we drank water. And we stay energetic. You know, watermelon, you stay energetic, you can tell it. Now that I look back on it, the benefits of it. Well, anyway, I want to get to today's subject. Today's subject is when Arron and Moses went to see the king of Egypt. So you take that now, when the prophets are trying to go see the president, the congressman, people that are over us in the district, you're voting for and all this kind of stuff here. I want to get directly to it because we can see what's going on in the world. And when I read this here, you can't tell me this don't match what the so-called niggers are going through right now because we are the Hebrew Israelites in the Bible, the 12 tribes of Israel. If you read this Bible and compare it to what's going on in the world, there's no doubt in your mind that you know. That's why I know it's in my heart. There's no doubt in my mind that we are the people in this Bible. And the thing about it, they know this. They know this. You got people coming out. God said in the end time, the information will be coming out. Well, the information coming out all over. That's why they want to get rid of TikTok. The government has already banned all the government facilities to get rid of TikTok. They had 60 days to get it out of their computer system and get rid of it off their phones. If it's a city government phone, this came from the president. So TikTok is really getting information out. If you go to the part and don't put all that other stuff on there, just go for like when you know how you start liking stuff, that's the information you get. And you start seeing these brothers coming out. Even non-Israelite people are coming out, or non-12 tribes of Israel coming out and giving you this information, and it match up in the Bible. Because the truth is being spilled. It's coming out and so fast that this is so good. Dang, that's good. It's coming out so fast, they gotta put a cap on it. They're gonna start locking this up. They got laws in place now for the Hebrew Israelites on the corner. They got laws, they're putting laws in place now that you can't pass out flyers, certain things you can't say. Even if you quoting scripture from the Bible, they're gonna get you. So you gotta remember martial law coming, and then you're gonna be on that corner. Your freedom of speech, they're getting rid of your freedom of speech. You can tell slowly but surely they're getting rid of you. When they start getting rid of so-called Esau, so-called other people's freedom of speech, you next. Matter of fact, it already affect you, but you cannot. When they got a cold, we got the flu. So that's what I'm trying to get at. And before I get into my subject, I don't see. So I try to follow the leader of God when He gives it to me. My best ability, I try to follow the leader of God when He gives it to me. I do. So He's been having me watching all these World War II movies about Hitler and about concentration camp. I said, well, look, why you got me watching this? Them people, if you go based on them, some of that stuff is true. It happened to them, but they let me get to it, what I got to tell you. These are people that was killing their own people. They were doing some stuff to them people. And these are people that were killing them. If they was killing their own people like that, what would they do to you? If they were killing their own people the way they were doing, what would they do to you? So they throw the number out, right? They say 6 million Jewish people were killed. So what I did was got on my old-fashioned phone and pulled up Google. And I took some pictures. Here it is out. Here it is out. It was estimated that during the time in Germany in 1933, there was 527,000 Jewish living in Germany. I want you to understand there was 523,000 Jewish people living in Germany during the time when Hitler was prosecuting the Jews. There was 523,000 people during the time that the Hitler took over. The decrease was due in part of immigration following the Nazi takeover in January. So if there were 523 Jewish people, I just want to throw this out there, whether they get 6 million Jews being crucified or tormented or doing, I just throw that out there for you. If they'll lie about that, they'll lie about everything. But they got reparation. You wouldn't get reparation because they consider them a nation. They got reparation. You did not. They still, they ancestors, with the kids now still getting reparation. United States paid a reparation. But there's so much I learned from them watching the movies. But one thing I did notice, if they'll kill their own, they'll do you the same. That's why they run all the music industry, and they killing us just like they killed their own people. But they using our people to kill us, just like they use their own people to kill them. You got the music industry, the TV industry, where they're turning all our men into like feminine men, portraying them to be feminine. They pick the biggest one. They don't necessarily be in stature, but they use the one in stature for height, but they use the one in stardom. You're a big time star. Everybody and then they'll use our women to come to their defense because our women like feminine man, but they don't want to marry a feminine man. So they push the issue with them feminine men because they like them. Not necessarily that they would marry them, but they like them. And it's causing problems. Because now you got our little kids just following that because they see these stars. And they see these mamas pushing it. So they think it's all right because their mama pushing it. So they say, well, I can be like that. Arron, I want you to do this now. I'm reading out of the CV. You get the King James Version so you can follow along. See, I know this, but I want you to follow along. See, these are words that you can recognize. See, when you read the King James, some of y'all won't. You kind of understand, but this one kind of like a plain talk. It's like plain talking. Moses and Arron went to the king of Egypt and told him, the Lord God said, let my people go into the desert so that they can honor me with celebration there. He's talking about us, we the Hebrew Israelites. It's telling them to let us go. So you take that today, we telling society, let us go. The wilderness is not in the woods. It's like in something in the Bible, I think it's desert. It's mean a clear space. A clear space in our mind because they bombard us with all this evilness. Social media, TV, records, radio, all this here. So we cannot go to the desert and celebrate God because guess what? Our minds are occupied doing other things. So we can't focus on God. So you don't even really have time because they got too much going on. And you can't concentrate. They got this going on. They put out all this propaganda. Every time you turn on the news, they got this, got that, this, that. That's why it's best if you can stay away from that TV as much as you can. That's where you can get in tune with the Most High. And this is what the king of Egypt said. Who is this Lord? And why should I obey him? The king replied, I refuse to let you and your people go. Who is your God? Who God you talking about? Who is this God should I obey? United States talking to you. Who is this God that I should obey, that I should let you go? I should not give you football on Saturday. College football. I should not give you professional football on Sunday. I should not give you professional football on Thursday. When we get to the playoffs, it's on Saturday, Friday. I should not give you basketball. I should not give you all this entertainment. I should not give you social media. I should not give you news. Who is this God I shall obey you and let you go and not give you all the information to clog your mind up? Moses and Arron, this is what they answered. This is in Exodus 5. I'm reading down. This is Exodus 5. So if you follow me, just follow me down. Now I'm in 3. They answered, the Lord God of the Hebrews. We are the Hebrews. It's our God. It's our God. It's the Lord God of the Hebrews. We are the Hebrews that they're speaking of the Bible. It's our God that they don't want us to serve. Moses telling you see, United States of America is really United States of Africa. It's not America because we following African customs or we following the Egyptian customs. We're doing everything that the Egyptians and the Africans done, which is the same people. Look at what the Egyptians and the Africans did. Look at your money. Your money is a prime example of that. You got the pyramid on there. So you know they're not United States of America, the United States of Africa, or the United States of Egypt. This is how you look at it when I'm reading this. This is how you think of it. Don't think of United States of America. Think of the United States of Egypt. Has appeared to us. Please let us walk 3 days into the desert where we can offer sacrifice to him. If you do not, he may strike us down with terrible trouble or with war. Let us go. Let us go before we can worship our God, before we get our mind right, before we be destroyed. But Moses said, for him, for the Hebrew Israelites be destroyed. Let us go. Take away all this propaganda out of us. Stop destroying our kids and letting the transgender come in there and read to our 5 and 6-year-old babies. Stop it. Stop the United States out of Egypt. Stop it. Why can't we go on our own? Why do you have us in captivity teaching us to roam? We want to go 3 days away. We want to go to our Lord and pray. We want to go to our God and celebrate without you putting all this burden on us. We can't go because you got us in captivity. You can't go certain place without you asking United States of Egypt, can you go? You got to get a passport. You can't pray no more. They took it out of school. They took prayer out of school, but they brought in transgender and homosexuality books in. Not only they brought the book, they got the people actually in there reading to your kids. The king, the president. When I say king, I say president. When I say king, you think president, because I'm talking about the king of Egypt. So this is the king of the United States of Egypt. When I say king, you say president. When I say king, you say president. The king said, Moses and Aaron, why are you keeping these people from working? Look how many of you are kept from doing their work. Now everyone go back to work. Hebrew Israelite, leave my people alone. They work for me. This is the king telling Aaron and Moses, why are you talking to these people? Why are you talking to the Hebrew Israelites? Why are you on these corners? Why are you on YouTube preaching to these people? You are hindering them from working by putting all this stuff in their head. They think they don't need me. They need me. I am the king. I am their king. Falsely. They need me, Moses and Aaron. Why are you messing with these people, giving them this information? Why are you studying this Bible and learning and giving it to these people? Why? The same day the king gave orders to his slave boss, to the men directly in charge of the Israelite slaves, he told them. His slave boss was his people, was our own people. The slave boss was our own people. You go on these jobs now, they got our own people over us. And our own people treat us like dirt. And you know that. That's one of the biggest complaints. I worked for 37 years before I retired. And people know that you got bosses that look like us, that was over us, treat us like dirt. And the famous thing was his home must not be right, because he come here and he doing us the way he do us, because his home might not be right. You know I'm telling the truth. We all sat around the table and said his home might not be right. His wife treating him a certain way. So he come out and take it out and give him your slave ball. It's in the Bible what go on every day. I tell you to read this Bible and you will see where it's going every day. I'm gonna go ahead on. Don't give the slave any more straw to put in the brick. Force them to find their own straw wherever they can. But they must work the same. They must make the same number of bricks as before. They are lazy, or else they would not beg me to let them go and sacrifice to their God. He told the slave boss, make it hard on them. Make it so hard on them, because they lazy. They call us lazy when we built Egypt. They call us lazy right now in the United States of America. We built this United States of America. We built this place, and it's the same thing in Egypt. They said that we was lazy, and they made it hard for me because they didn't bring the straw. They didn't even give us the straw to make the bricks. They said, you go get your own straw. They are treating us the same way. You are the people. You cannot deny you the people. And in the world, you can deny that you ain't these people. The same thing I just read you, the same thing you go through every day on a job. And they call you lazy, you work twice as hard. You built the United States of America. You built the United States of Egypt. The same way you built the United States of Egypt in the homeland. You built them pyramids. You built Ramses Place. These so-called Africans had you in slavery. You built all these places. Then after you built it, they made it hard for you. You building a house, they don't give you no nails. You got to go find your own nails. And then they call you lazy. This is in the Bible. It's in the Bible the same way they treat you today. And your slave boss look like you. Your slave boss look like you. They harder on you than anybody, other nation. Because once they become boss, they think they over you. They forget about their God. They forget about you the same people. And we know this. You can't tell me I'm lying because we know this. This is real. This is real. Okay. They work you so hard you can't even sacrifice. You can't even sacrifice to your God. You come home. Whew, you're tired. You ain't got time to spend with your kids because they're working you extra hard. And you ain't making no more money than what you did. They forcing you to work overtime and don't pay you for overtime. Look at the news. People are suing their companies. Panera Bread will label people as positions and they not working that position for they can make them work overtime. They would get them like make them say they are a manager working on salary, but they're really not a manager, but they would give them that title. And then they can work them to death. Because you're a manager, now a manager, you got a salary. No matter how many hours they make you work, you got to work it. It's going on right now today, people. They don't care about their own, and you, when like I said, when it's a cold, you got the flu, so it's hitting you harder than anybody else. Make them work so hard that they won't have time to listen to these lies. They calling us a liar. So they make you work so hard that you ain't got time to look at us when we're telling you. I should have 1,000 views, but you ain't got time to me because the day is the Sabbath. So you ain't got time to be looking at me. You got to be out in the streets spending your money. When God said don't spend your money, don't cook, don't do nothing from sundown to sundown, which is on a Friday. When Friday sundown to Saturday sundown, you're supposed to be spending no money. You're supposed to be home resting. I tell you what, I appreciate that rest. You just don't know. Sometimes you working doing the job. You say I'm working hard during the week. When that Saturday comes, I be appreciating. You just don't know what your body needs. This. Your body needs to relax, to rejuvenate, get your skin right, get your teeth right, get your body right. You need this because they're working you. Just fit us. Okay. Finally, the men in charge of the slave went to the king and said, "Why are you treating us like this?" We talking to the United States of Egypt. We crying out all over the world. Why are y'all shooting us in the street? Why are we the only one? Why in Kentucky they found out when y'all would ride by and throw drinks on us? They just found out what they was doing to us. In Kentucky, y'all seen that study? They was arresting people, beating people, raping people, doing all that kind of stuff. They found that, but we already knew that. They already knew that, but they ain't gonna change. And so this is what these men are saying. Finally, the men in charge of the slaves went to the king and said, "Why are you treating us like this?" And you said, "Well, how you knew that there were men in charge? They treat us," because he said us. He told the Hebrew Israelites, they was our boss. They used our own people against us like they use our own people against us now. No one bring us any straw. Boss, y'all don't bring us you don't bring us no supplies. That was our number one thing when I worked for city government. I don't know how the city be broke, but they would always claim broke. We needed special tools to take these motors out and stuff like that. When I was working, they didn't have it. We had to make up our own way of doing it. So this is us. You can go to anybody who worked for city government, they'll tell you that the job was not hard, but they made it hard because they would always claim they had no money. By the time you get to ordering all your parts, it would almost sometimes take a year. You have a pool sitting down for a whole year because they didn't want to give you the money. They didn't want to go buy that purchase. But guess what? If I was in Maryland, it would fix the next day. They found money. So I live this. I know this Bible telling the truth. No one bring us any straw, but we are still ordered to make the same number of bricks. You are beating us with whips, and you and your own people are to blame. Hey, boss, y'all beating us down, but you're not giving them no supply. You the one that's causing this. That's what they're saying. The king replied, you are lazy, nothing but lazy. That's what their boss tell you. You just lazy. You just don't want to work. Now, don't this sound like us? United States of Egypt. This is us. Let me continue reading. That is why you keep asking me to let you go and sacrifice you lazy because you want to go sacrifice your God, so you lazy. You lazy people because you want to go sacrifice your God. We done built this country up. We tired now. We asking for reparation. But the reparation, I don't want their reparation. When I'm going to do that stir on reparation, you will tell you the kind of reparation I want. The men knew they were in deep trouble when they were ordered to make the same number of bricks each day. After they left the king, they went to see Moses and Arron. We had been waiting for them. Then the men said, we hope the Lord will punish both of you for making the king and his officials hate us. Now they even have an excuse to kill us. Them same Negroes now that is over you at your job because they have made it hard for you. The king of you, the United States of Egypt, have made it hard for you. So now the Negroes over you are blaming you because now they are in trouble. Now the world has let them know that you are black too. Michael Jackson, they let him know he was black. Prince, they let him know he was black. Mike Tyson, they let him know he was black. Eddie Murphy, they let him know he was black. Jamie Foxx, they let you know he's black. Well, guess what? They'll let you know. They'll bring you down, put scandals out there. Michael Jordan, they let him know he was black, great as he was. Herschel Walker, they let him know he was black, and then they put him on face to shame him. All these great stars, they let you know you were black after you about done. Emmett. All these great Terrell, all these great quarterbacks, all these great running backs, they let you know we're black after you got to you. Tiger Woods, your daddy was black as darkness. They let you know you were black. When they get through using you, they're going to let you know you were black. This is the same thing. You can't tell them I'm not lying. I want you to go to 12:31. During the night, the king went. During the night, the king sent for Moses and Aaron and told them, get your people out of my country and leave us alone. See, because God had to put all them curses on them. Because the Bible said, you bless us, we'll bless you. See, they done put all these curses on us. And the United States of Egypt going to get tired. Give them Negroes what they want. I'm tired. God is putting too much on me. God is bringing our country down because of how y'all treating his people. God is bringing y'all country down because of how y'all treating your people. Y'all finna really go into y'all finna starve, earthquakes, all the snow, Turkey, all these places, tsunamis, because y'all mistreating God's people. Y'all finna go through hell. And they gonna say, let them go. Let these people go stay in God. Take your sheep, take your goats, take your cattle, and get out. But ask your God to be kind to me. United States of Egypt, hey, here go your reparation. Here go your stuff. We know why the earth is going through this here. We know why the people died. You know why our kids are overdosing on opium. We know why it's happening to us now. You can go worship your God now. Well, please ask your God to be kind to us. Y'all done treat us like dirt. Now you begging us to ask our God to be kind to you. The Egyptians did everything they could to get the Israelites to leave their country fast. They wanted to go serve your God. Go talk to your God. Tell him to relieve us. They said, please hurry and leave. If you not leave, we'll all be dead. They're scared now because stuff is happening to them because you're doing us wrong. God gonna get y'all for doing us wrong. It's in the Bible. Why you think they holler reparation now? Why you think they holler reparation now? Because they can't take this all. And guess what? They're trying to do the clouds because it's burning their skin. But we can drive in this condition. So the Israelites quickly made some bread dough and put it in a pan, but they did not mix it with any yeast. It's flat bread, leavened bread, because they finna go to celebrate. They wrapped clothes around the pan and carried them on their shoulder. When we left, we taking everything with us. And check this out. If you were to read this whole complete story, God told them to go tell the Egyptians to give them all the gold and silver. Check this out. The Israelites had already done what Moses told them to do. They had gone to their Egyptian neighbors and asked for gold and silver and for clothes. The Lord had made the Egyptians friendly toward the people of Israel, and they gave them whatever they asked for. In this way, they carried away the wealth of each Egyptian when they left Egypt. We leaving. Your reparation coming. Your reparation is coming, and we leaving this place. And they gonna give you. They gonna give you all this wealth. They gonna give you all this gold just for you to pray to your God, our God, to stop wrecking their place. I just read that. It's in the Bible. The Bible gives us what we need. It tells us what's gonna happen. But they use our own people, our slave bosses, the churches, the boss on your job, the congressman, especially the Democratic Party, need to get rid of it. The Democratic Party is okay with all this adulterous fornication stuff going on with our kids and the raping of our kids. It's the Democrats that agree with all this. It's the Democrats, our own people who we vote for. They don't want to agree with all this. Shalom, my people. Shalom, my people. I just want you to have your thing kept on. Give yourself a round of applause. Shalom, my people. Shalom, shalom. I love you. 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 I love you.